Hi, I'm Paige Steers. I'm here at the MBA conference in Atlanta bringing you insights from experts, and I have one with me right now, Matthew Comfort of Jones Lang LaSalle, who is a hotel expert. Jones Lang LaSalle did a survey, Matt, and it asked lenders, which product type do you exercise the most caution when you're lending to? 48% of them came back and said it's hotels. What does that tell us about their attitude toward lending on hotels?
Well, I think that by nature, lenders are a little bit hesitant with hotels because they're a different asset class. They're much more of an operating business as opposed to a pure real estate class. And this is something that we've seen historically. Lenders have always had a little bit more trepidation around hotels in terms of projecting cash flows, the fact that leases reset basically every night as opposed to on a 5 or a 10-year schedule like you see in retail and office. So it's a little bit more difficult for them to get their arms around it. That being said, there are a number of lenders that are out there that are very comfortable with hotels. They've got a long track record of lending on hotels. They've figured out the best way to approach them and how to underwrite them and how to make effective lending decisions. So we are seeing lenders that are coming back into the market. There's been a little bit of a surge recently in terms of hotel lenders entering the market. So all signs are very encouraging at this point in time.
Let's talk about one of those lender segments, the conduits. That could be a big wild card in terms of what happens in the year 2012. Do you expect CMBS players to really step up and help drive the hotel investment market?
Absolutely, and that's one of the most dynamic parts of the lending landscape right now that we're seeing in the hotel space. CMBS lenders really came back into the market on hotels in late 2010. They had a very active year in 2011 up until about May or June, at which point in time they backed off of the product a little bit. Right at the tail end of 2011, we saw them re-enter the space, and we're seeing a lot of momentum right now. So that translates into higher concentrations of hotels within their securitization pools and a little bit more aggressive underwriting. We've seen spreads that are tightening. We've seen leverage increase a little bit, and we've just seen general interest in the space.
That would be good news to borrowers. So let's talk about those borrowers that are facing maturities. There's still a big wave of that happening in 2012 in the next couple of years. Will that push a lot of hotel product on the market?
Yes, I think so. Hotels are one of those asset classes that really went into the tank in 2009 and 2010. They needed time to recover their operating performance. They've started to show very, very encouraging signs. Really throughout 2010 and 2011, we've seen operating performance at hotels continue on an upward pace. That's largely expected to increase into 2012. I do think that there's going to be some issues, for some hotel borrowers where their loans were extended but not necessarily long enough to get the recovery and value that's necessary for them to get out of their loans. So we'll see some note sales that result from that. We'll also see some borrowers that are in the market to find some recap equity in order to help facilitate their paydown. And we'll probably see some additional extensions as well.
Okay, so it sounds like hotels first in, but could be first out. A lot of activity we'll see in 2012. Thanks for sharing your insights, Matt.
Thanks, Paige.